Hey gang, it's Johnny B here. Thanks for tuning into the stream. Let me just throw you right in the deep end. Here's what we're doing today. Cool. So, what do you think? When I say doing, I mean we're actually kind of done with this, and it's a character theme for a 2D point-and-click game. I'm writing a few of these character themes for this game. I've been streaming every day now for the past like 6 or 7 days, and I want to keep this going with a regular stream. So if you're into what I'm doing, check it out. It's going to be 2 p.m. UTC every day. So I'm in South Africa, that's 4 p.m. And yeah, just check the clock, and same time every day. What I make is easy to use music templates for Ableton and Reaper. So for example, if you check out my Patreon page, you'll see that yesterday I released a version of Ghostbusters, the MIDI clips, but also the actual Ableton project. So you can literally go ahead and download the Ableton project. It's most of the Ghostbusters theme tune, and here's what you get. And yeah, that's basically what I'm doing, is just providing Ableton templates and Reaper templates to the community. So if you're into that kind of thing, go ahead and check out the link in the description of my YouTube channel. There's a link going to where you can get that pack, and I'm building on that pack constantly. Some of it's original material, some of it's pop music. I can't really sell it because it's pop music, so I give it away. But if you want to work on my stuff and remix it or add it to your own projects, use it as a place to learn, then you can go ahead and become a patron. I'd love that. I'm looking forward to my first patron. Is it you? Maybe it's you. I don't know. Let's find out together. Cool. So yeah, regular streams coming at you, some new stuff in the free patrons bundle. And what I'm going to do now is move on to the next character theme, and I actually want to involve you, the viewer, the loyal viewer of my video, to comment in on this. So if you're watching this and you feel like leaving a comment, please do. I'll gladly say what up and hang out for a bit. Miro is a place for teams to collaborate. It's like a big whiteboard basically. And I'm going to open up the music feedback section. So we've got the dude who's hiring me to write this music has given some feedback on the stuff that I've submitted to him, which I've been working on this stream. So if you want to check that out, go back a week or so and you'll see I was working on Anna's theme last week and Lord Cardigan the week before. And the one that you've just been hearing now is Ingrid. So this is the feedback I got on Ingrid. He's got some reference tracks over there which I got to listen to, and I think he's generally happy with that as a first draft. So we gotta move on. This is the one I haven't really done yet. Colonel Bast. Colonel Bast is a retired British or American intelligence officer. Colonel Bast is a handsome man of few words. He's traveling to South Africa. Woohoo! In his personal capacity, quotes, although it soon becomes apparent that his presence is linked to something more complex, etc. So, this dude he's got a military background. So the first thing I'm thinking of is like military snare drum, and the ensemble. In other words, what instruments I'm going to choose for this particular character. It's going to be I think quite orchestral. None of this stuff is going to be too much on the electronic and pop side. It's going to be mostly orchestral and actually jazz. So yeah, let's see if we can put this charismatic, handsome chap into musical form. We do have some reference tracks which I sent through, and he's approved and also provided feedback on some of them. I'm going to play this now. You can hear it because I disabled YouTube so that you don't get copyright. I don't get copyright infringements, but it's the theme to Lawrence of Arabia. So what I'm listening to now as a reference track for this character is this type of thing. I'm just listening and reading at the same time, but not marching music. Client doesn't want not marching music, so maybe the British anthem. So we're talking pomp and circumstance, Elgar, that type of thing. Okay. More stately / government than military. Okay. So let's listen to Pomp and Circumstance by the British composer Elgar, Sir Edward Elgar, if you may. And it's a very well-known piece. They play it at graduation ceremonies and that kind of thing. Actually, no, they don't play this one at they play Gaudiamus Igitur at graduation ceremonies. This is also not the right track. Okay. I'm gonna just give this a listen. Let's give the... Oh, they do play it at graduations. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I get where he's going with this. So, having digested all of that, I'm going... here's my pitch for this. Is my initial palette. I'm going to use orchestral instruments with a clear reference to the military marching drum, but not in a military marching drum style, because we don't want it to be too aggressive. It's more charming. So we can lower the tempo in order to remove some of that aggressive element, and keep it... yeah, stately is a good word. Stately. Stiff upper lip. Firm in its convictions. Okay, good. We're going with that type of thing. So we're talking about almost a 2/4 andante type of approach. So that sets the tone for the tempo and the instrumentation, which is really 90% of the battle. The rest of it is kind of the fun stuff. So, first thing I've got to do here, kids, is actually just export this file. So let's create a bounce. Oops, I used the wrong keyboard shortcut every time. And we're going to call this 231025 Ingrid van der Berg. And just give it a... Oops, not secondary output. Oops, not metadata. And... Alright. I think we might have done this already. Just going to kill the audio on the stream so that you don't have to listen to the whole thing. Cool. It's quite soft, but we'll get to levels later. Right now it's just about the initial. Okay. Alright, great. That means that I can now save a new save project as and start a whole new thing, and we're going to call it Victor Bast, Colonel Bast. Colonel Bast is the name of this character, and we've got most of the stuff that we need for this project already lined up for us. So all of this compositional data, MIDI data can be deleted, and the instrumentation's already there, and all we got to do now is add a military marching drum feel. So let's just minus everything and insert a new track, which is going to be Cineperk. Cineperk might be a bit overkill for this. I'm going to just give it a bash with battery first. There are 3 libraries I could use here. One of them is Cineperk, the gigantic big drum library, drum and percussion library. The other one is the battery, which I've just loaded now, and the last one is part of the Symphony Essentials group, which I originally used. So it's part of the Symphony Essentials percussion section. Give me a sec here. I'm just trying to locate myself. Please hold. There we go, cool. Alright, cool. If you're listening or watching the stream and you feel like reaching out, say what up in the chat. I'd love to just see who's hanging out with me, hang out a bit, and yeah, let me know what you think of the whole thing. I'm streaming basically every weekday from 2 p.m. UTC, which is 4 p.m. my time here in South Africa. And I'm going to be continuing these streams. This is a commission that I'm working on, but I'm just going to continue the streams just indefinitely, just to share the love with other music composers. Cool. What I'm doing now is sending the battery instrument to the pre-master, so it's a little bit of audio routing. And I'm hoping, I know that there is an orchestral kit in here somewhere. Let's just search for it. No. Not using orchestra. Okay. If we can't find it here, then we'll just have to use one of the other libraries. But yeah. All right. We're searching for Overtime, Pendulum, Battery 4, Factory Library. It doesn't have a default orchestral kit. So I don't know what the deal with that is or what it's called. I've used one before, but I don't think it's on here. Dusty Ganja Kit. Okay. Right, so now's not the time to hunt this list, so I'm going to just default to the other idea, which is going to Cineperk. I'm going to just, yeah, it's load up Cineperk. It should take a minute or two. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a piece of orchestral sounding music which has got similar feel to Pomp and Circumstance. So a descending bass line, very much rooted in Western harmony, 1-4-5, that kind of thing. I'm going to keep it quite simple because I find that in these types of jobs it's better not to try and get too creative. I know that sounds weird, but it's better to play stereotypes. So the nice version of that word, not the dirty version of stereotypes. You know, you actually want to keep it a little bit original too, if you can. Okay, so now I'm triggering Cineperk, and we don't have any audio yet, and that might be because it's making it to the pre-master, which should be running. Okay, nothing's coming. Cineperk is not receiving any MIDI in the actual contact instrument, so I've got some debugging to do here. Let's kill that and open up Cineperk directly here. Orchestral percussion, I mean, you could load up 10 of these different things. All I'm looking for is the military snare. That's what I'm looking for. Cool, loading military snare. And have we got anything coming through whatsoever? No, and that is annoying. Ah, of course, my mistake. You record MIDI, so we've got to actually set the input MIDI to all MIDI inputs, all channels. That's right. Nothing coming through. It might be the MIDI channel is not on the right. Oops. Oops. Let's try it again. There we go. Coming through like loud and clear. So the problem there was that on my keyboard, which you see here, there is a selection for which MIDI channel you want to be playing. And I think it stored the data from yesterday because I changed it to MIDI channel 2 or 3, and when I booted it up now, it was still on MIDI channel 2 instead of MIDI channel 1, which is required by this patch. Okay. Now that we've got the snare, let's get the tempo down. So I'm going to kill all of that so I can see what I'm doing. BPM tap, 1, 2, I don't believe you can hear the click, but there is a click playing. Take my word for it. Cool. In case you just joined us or you're new to the channel, what I'm doing is making commission game music right now. But most of the time what I'm doing is making these music template packs, which I release via my Patreon and Gumroad, and also for free via those two channels. So check out the link in the YouTube description if you're into getting the project files for some of the work that I'm doing and actually just editing it yourself, creating new versions of it. That's kind of cool. I mean, I find that's the best way to learn, really, is just not starting with a blank slate, you know, kind of making it a little bit easier. And that's what I'm trying to do for especially people who are new to music composition on a DAW. Cool. All right, it's 4:20. Giving myself about an hour to get this thing. Okay, so let's play through the patch and see what we're working with. Let's load it up. All of these blue sections over here are different mappings to sounds. There's a roll. There's a hard hit, forte, and then we've got a bit of a gap, and then more. This is going to be fun. That's side sticks, they call them, the very edge of the snare. Oh, that sounds like a roll with an open snare. Yeah, these are all open snares. Okay, that's where you disable the snares at the bottom, and it just plays the like a tambourine. Okay, so what I'm looking for is a combination of a hit and a roll. That's what I'm going for, so we can easily get together. I'm going to get 3 samples in play here, a roll, and we need a second hit. Let's see if we can find a complementary hit sound. Okay. Okay. I want to take the tempo down a little bit. Let's take it from 79 down to 71. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and yeah, we're just going to do a take. 4. And okay, so I figured something out here. This is very nuanced, but what I want to do is always do a roll from my right hand to my left hand, because the left hand is the stronger hit and the right hand sounds like a sample that's a supporting hit. It's like when a volleyball player spikes the ball for the next person, sets up the ball for the next person. So I go da 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 da. So, okay, right, here we go. 2, 3, and 4. Oh, velocity is important here. Good. Let's take one back in time, and actually the start of this loop, weirdly enough, is going to be here. This is a loop, 4-bar loop. Okay, I've got the wrong velocity there. So let's open up the velocity editor over here, and let's just see if we can tweak it a little bit, make it sound a little more natural. And I'm going to remove the roll there, so let's take it from the first marker and listen. 3, 4, 1, 2. This could be up there. This hit over here should be a stronger hit. It's an accent hit, whereas the ones at the bottom are more supporting hits. So let's try it again. And while I'm at it, let us just group those two, group and loop, and I'm going to also go ahead and quantize them to a 16th with a sort of 84% margin for error. Okay, it looks like I've overshot it a little bit by leaving out a measure that I should have included. But this is where it gets interesting. What we could do is going to leave that like it is for now. And what I want to do next is focus on the harmony. So I'm going to start with the double basses, and then I will come back to this 2.5 bar loop. Right, let's just leave it a 2-bar loop. It's actually a 4-bar loop, or 2 bars if you think of it as a 2/4 composition. But either way, same length, and let's get a nice ensemble sounding patch going through here. Now, first things first, we've got to load up the actual contact instrument for this patch. MIDI is coming through, but it's just really low. And there we go. We've got... Okay, now I've been doing a lot of G major recently. I know from the range of a double bass that we typically have the E as the low note, a very low E. So I'm going to... Just a little bit of knowledge of orchestral instruments and their ranges will help you in this, help you make it sound natural. So I'm going to use E as the lowest note, which is the dominant in this composition. So we want to go from E, A. So the A is going to be the key of the song, and that's how I work that out. Now we're free to go something like this. Okay, we don't want it to sound too much like Pachelbel's Canon or Pomp and Circumstance. We've got to bring something of our own flavor to it. Can't be totally a sound alike. It can, but it's just kind of not that fun. Okay, here's one idea for a part. Dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Very, very classical. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, it actually goes lower than that. So I'm not even on the lowest octave of the double basses. So near the double bass, it looks like they've taken it down to a C. Listen to this. Ooh, filthy. Looks like I'm clipping the signal here. Very nice, but also very dangerous. Cool. I'm scared. Okay. Let us do that then. I'm just going to go with that. No need to complicate things. Then to 2-bar intro, sorry, 2-beat intro. 1 and 2. That's it. Here we play back. Quantize that a little bit. I'm going to take it to 16th. Right. Top of the... Let's quantize it to... Dun, 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 dun. That's a little bit too jazzy, I think, for this chap. Dun, 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 dun. So we're going to have... Okay, we've got some low stuff, that's good. Nice. Just want to see on the panning here, because it looks like I've panned it. Center, no. Bum, 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 bum. See, now, to my ear, it doesn't, you don't actually even notice the snare dropping out. It seems to work quite well with that massive accidental gap. So let's duplicate the loop so we get a bit more room to play with. And yeah, so I think I'm happy with that bass. Let's get some of the violins going, the high parts. I always start with the violins because I'm biased. I play a violin myself, so Yes, now violin 1 I think is going to be channel MIDI channel 2. So here's where we are with MIDI switching. Should play. And the reason it's not is because, again, the expression knob is low. Okay. Okay, that's that sound we all know and love. Still confused as to why the violin is sounding a little bit reverby. I had reverb enabled there, but yesterday I went through a whole thing the day before of the violins in this piece are not actually, the violins in this string patch, violin 2, are reverbing where they kind of shouldn't be. You can't switch it off. They should be recorded dry and given you an option for reverb. So, it's true what they say about violinists, we're kind of an anal bunch. Okay, I'm just playing some horrible sounding strings now, but we'll get there. We'll figure it out. Can't compose and think at the same time. Okay. Let's turn reverb back on and just get some. Okay, I also think it's a bit bright. Let's take it down, bright wise. It was a nice counter measure there, counter melody, but let's try to get something down right. Actually, I like that. I liked it up until then. Okay, let's do like the Bach double type thing where you have counterpoint. You have one melody line being played by a primary instrument, but then a second melody comes in of equal importance. So the first melody is going to be this. Okay. It's the F sharp. Yeah, the B flat, the B. So like this. One, two, three, four. Not hard. Okay, and then we'll switch roles. So I'm going to then play this main melody that I've created here in the first half of this whole passage is going to become the second, literally second fiddle to whatever other instrument takes the lead. So it's a switching. I'm important and you're not, and then you're important and I'm not. So we'll see how that plays out. I like that idea. Let's give it a bash. Without getting too abstract and weird, you know. One and two and 3 and to C sharp, 1, 2, 3 to the D. I'm thinking of going staccato here, but this is very wafty. I don't like this waftiness. I like dotted quavers and something like that. As a sort of music nerd, it gives me great satisfaction to hear the difference between a dotted quaver and a triplet. Okay, 2, 3, 4. Ba 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 ba. Not the same as ba 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 ba. Like it. Ba 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 ba. And ba 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 ba. The core rhythm. Triplets. Da 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 da. Okay, that's triplets. Ba 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 ba. Whereas dotted quavers, one of okay, you get the idea. It's not lazy, is what I'm saying. The stately, proper, prim and proper, whatever, classical stuff, especially influenced by Elgar, who's English, who is, you know, that specifically, like, particularly kind of proper type of music. So let's try and convey some of that, because we do have a very proper character that we're trying to write for. That's what we draw on, those ideas. Okay. If you just tuned in, this is my channel where I create music compositions like this, and this happens to be a commission for a game, but I also routinely release these packs of instruments, sorry, not instruments, but projects with stems and MIDI for anyone who's into composing music on Ableton or Reaper. If you're an Ableton nut, you want some new material to remix, there's a link to the free stuff at the description of my YouTube channel. Go and download that. I've sequenced the Ghostbusters theme tune and TV theme tunes, that kind of stuff. People know me as a dude who writes like 90s sitcom music. I've actually got another commission this week. Yeah! Some YouTuber wants me to write the custom theme music for her channel, so that's always cool. And I've done that kind of stuff, and I release it to the community. So aside from earning from, you know, commissions, I try to like give, you know, some stuff away, give some stuff back for free, and show up for these streams and all that. So if you like what I'm doing, hit subscribe, tell your friends, consider becoming a patron, and you'll get access to all of the, basically everything I've released. Project files, MIDI files, stems, separate stems, master tracks, all kind of not copyright free, but you know, they're not going to give you any copyright issues if you publish them in your own videos on YouTube. So this is like license free. That's what I make. Cool. And yeah, I've kind of been doing this for quite a while now, like 5 years. I've got almost 800,000 plays on Free Music Archive, which is great. I had like a hit album there. And people use my music like everywhere. I get these weird videos from people saying, hey, I just used your music when we created this game environment. There's this like moment where a rocket blasts off and your music is there. Or, you know, like a Polish theatre wants some of my music for their backing tracks so they can put on a live show. So it's quite cool to see how it travels, you know. And it all starts right here in this crappy garage. Everywhere I live, I make space for some kind of like studio setup. And this happens to be where we are right now. One thing that's been constant throughout this whole journey has just been the fact that I've always made music. I've always found a place, got the gear together, begged, borrowed, stolen, bought, and had this, you know, and it feels quite good to finally be like sharing it on a regular basis, like face to face. It's a bit unnerving, but having, you know, like lights in your face and a camera in your face, doing it every day, even though like no one's really watching right now, it's quite a commitment, to put it that way, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Okay, 20 minutes to go. Let's go. Okay, let's practice what we preach here, I'm going to change the articulation right up at the top here from C0. Okay, we're going to need some more real estate here. Let us space that out and then stick a articulation marker right down here in the bottom saying when this clip starts, I want you to play it as a sustain, and then later on when we change to this section, I want you to play it as a staccato, which is on C sharp. Oops, I think it's the F0, so we've got to take it up to the F note. Okay, that's a harmonic. For some reason it's on a E. Okay, good. Yeah, F. So now we've got it. Skip ahead, and also I'm going to just hide this browser. Can't see much. And the other part's going to play here. Okay, so now what we want is din din din. This is what I want, yeah. I can't play this fast enough on a keyboard. I'm just going to have to quantize it anyway, so I'll sequence it rather. Ding, ding, ding. Well, what we want is a pause in the sort of predictability of the rhythm. So we're going to go dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's try again. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to just take a chance here and mute this clip so we can dun, dun. We will actually want it over here. Da 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 da. Okay, that's what we want. Is 3 staccato instances followed by 1. Okay, a lot going on here. Sorry, gotta just figure this out. This clip over here needs to be unmuted. Damn man, I know what's going on. This clip needs to be, okay, cool. And I've got it in mono. Okay. Okay, this problem with overlapping clips. There's one underneath another one, quite annoying. Let's try again. Okay. This is a proof of concept. This is a 1-hour composition. I wish I could just fly through it, but I care too much about it. So let's get on with it. What I'm trying to do now is make sure that every second beat of this passage, the final passage of the of this particular movement, I want this passage to be, that's it. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, I heard a second. There, I'm lost. Here we go. Dun. Let's put a marker over there and change the grid layout to lower. That's it. Looks like I'm losing power, losing streaming bandwidth. If you're hearing me and you can hear the stream is glitching out a little bit, sorry about that. I don't have any control over the internet speed here in Cape Town. I think I might just kill the stream before YouTube kills it for me. So yeah, thanks very much for tuning in if you did tune in today. and hopefully I'll see you again at the next one. Streaming live 2 p.m. UTC weekdays, so I'm showing composition, getting behind the scenes of the composition. If you like what I'm doing, check out the link in my YouTube channel description for free downloads of Ableton and Reaper templates. Easy to use. You can just import them into your DAW and they should load automatically. No missing samples or plugins, and also copyright license free. So you won't get any copyright flags on YouTube. If you do, get in touch with me and I'll help you